Okay, so here I'm using just a recycled paper bag. You can use any brown material you like, construction paper, paper bag, whatever you can find. And then for the food products, I just chose Fruit Loops because that's what I have, and dried cranberries, some rice, and then some beans. The Fruit Loops will be, the yellow ones will be my pupa, and then the rest will just be crunched up for my food pile. And then the cranberries are going to make up the queen ant. The rice are going to be the eggs. And then the beans will be a mixture of the worker ants and also the warrior ants. So here I'm just cutting out the Gye Nyame symbol, and that's going to be the formation of our nest that is going underground. The brown paper bag is going to be used to basically be the dirt, and then the symbol will be the tunnels that the ants create. So go ahead and follow that black line, cut it up, and then glue it down wherever you want close to the edge. I have a little dip in my paper bag, so I'm going to use that as like the entrance way for my tunnel. But if you don't have that, it's fine. Just put it wherever you would like to put it. Okay, so first we're going to put down the worker ants. Go ahead and take your raisin, your bean, whatever your small dark colored object is, and we're just going to stick them on near the entrance like they're walking into the tunnel. You could do 4 or 5, however many you want. This is just to get us started. You can definitely add more as we go on in the project. And then I just labeled here worker ants. You could put whatever label you want. If you have names for your workers, that's fine. And then I just stuck it on right beside. And then next we're going to put down our queen in that big chamber on the right. That's going to be the queen's chamber, or her Ya chamber. So I stuck down my biggest piece of fruit. You can really do whatever you want for your queen, as long as it's 3 pieces of whatever fruit or food you decided to use. So I stuck her down, and the biggest part for her abdomen. And then I'm just going to lay some eggs right next to her because she's constantly laying eggs. And that will be the Ya chamber. So go ahead and take your scratch paper and label Ya's chamber, and then also the eggs, and stick them right next to your food. So now we're going to stick down the pupae, and I didn't have any macaroni noodles. If you have some, you can use those. But I thought the Fruit Loop cut in half would basically be the same shape. So I'm just going to stick them down in the chamber on the opposite side, on the left-hand side of Ya's chamber. And once the eggs are laid down and they become larvae, the workers actually move them over to this other chamber where they're basically watching the pupae grow, feeding them, making sure that they're ready to become new ants. And so we're going to label this chamber the Kendesi chamber, which is the art of babysitting, because really the worker ants are just babysitting over here and making sure their future is ready to go. So I also put some worker ants next to the pupae. just because those are the quote-unquote babysitters who are going to be making sure that they hatch properly and that they're fed. There might be some with food on their heads carrying it over, or you can set it up however you'd like. I also put a few worker ants in Ya's chamber to carry a couple eggs. They can either be coating the eggs with their saliva, or they're carrying the eggs or the larva over to the pupae chamber. Honestly, you can do whatever you would like for your scene, but I just put a couple ants in each chamber to make it look a little bit full and to kind of show what goes on in that chamber in real life. So go ahead and label your Kandezi chamber, and then after you're done with that, it'll be time for your food chamber. Now you can put whatever leftover scraps of food you decided to use for this. You could put a mixture of the things on your plate, whatever you like. I'm using the Fruit Loops because that's the most of what I had, and because they're different colors, so I thought it would be cool to kind of crush them up and make it look like some leaves or some fruit that the ants would find out in nature. And you're going to go ahead and put those down in the chamber. In one of the bottom ones, you don't have to put it exactly where I put it, but I was just thinking that the food would be in a lower area where outside insects couldn't get to it very easily, and where it could possibly be guarded. But honestly, that's up to you, or you could do more research on where ants actually store their food. And then I just put a little ant next to the food to show that they're eating or they're gonna go over to the food. And then I labeled the food chamber right below. So now for one of the last parts, you can put in your warrior ants. And since I used beans for my worker ants, I'm going to use beans for my warriors, but I'm just going to use 2 of them put together to kind of show that they're bigger than the worker ants, but not quite as big as the queen ant. And my warrior ants were maybe taking a rest in one of the chambers. You can put your warrior ants wherever you like, but I kind of have mine coming around the chamber and trying to go out the exit in a different line, so that it shows that the warrior ants are getting ready for battle, because of course they're going to defend the whole colony and the queen. But like I said, you could put yours wherever you would like. So the rest of this video is just going to be me decorating my colony and the nest. And I'm just putting ants, kind of around the colony to show where they're at. You can really do whatever you would like at this point, so you can continue watching how I chose to decorate, or you can just go ahead and do your own thing. I put some worker ants kind of in the middle of the nest, and then I put some warrior ants protecting the entrance to the nest, kind of like they would be hiding close to the mound of the anthill. And yeah, it's really up to you. I hope you like this project. It's a little bit messy and you had to choose different types of foods, but it'll be really cool to feel after everything's dried.